everybody? It is your favorite Barely Indian boys back at it with another episode today. It is about 1:30 on Sunday. This comes out tomorrow, which means we're filming I don't know, what is it, 14, 16 hours before this comes out?
It's actually 12:30.
18 hours. You're in Central Time, dummy.
The right time.
Yeah, this is probably the closest we've cut it to from recording to releasing. We're usually at least 3 or 4 days ahead of time.
Yeah, at least like Saturday, I think. Maybe not
Yeah.
even 3 or 4. I think we were done on Saturday before.
What happened this week? I'm gonna blame you.
What do you mean? You didn't even ask me when we wanted to record until like yesterday.
Yeah. Why do I have to be the one to ask? Sometimes I wish that you would just take initiative and say, "Hey, Jerome,
Because
let's
you're
record."
the producer and the editor. We established this in one of the episodes.
I think we talked about this last week, but can we talk about for a second how you need a freaking haircut, man?
Bro, leave me alone. Everyone at work keeps saying I need a haircut.
You do. How many weeks has it been since we started COVID?
Let's not
Since
say
you've
weeks. Let's say it's been 10 months.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wait, that long? I said that incorrectly.
I was about to say like 10 months sounds like a pretty long time, but
really? I mean, 10 months?
It's probably been like 9-10 months. Yeah, I think I haven't gotten a haircut since like 2020 started.
Really? Your hair doesn't grow very long then, or very quickly.
Maybe I have that wrong. Maybe it's like February, March. I don't know. One of those.
That's a long time. You look like you belong in like a Bollywood movie. Take your headphones off so that people can see for a second. Fix it. Like Oh my gosh, you literally okay, put your headphones back on. You can't hear me, but put your headphones back on. There you go. You literally look like you belong in like a Bollywood movie and you could be like the lead. But you know how like in India movies a lot of times they'll have like all the like songs and dances and stuff.
Yeah.
You look like you belong in a dance, but like in the middle of the rain, so then they can see that the hair is like super long and like covering your eyes. That's what I imagine you to be.
It's funny because I went to go visit some family up in Ohio, and they literally said the same thing. They were like, "Oh, you could be a Bollywood like model or something."
Wait, oh my God, your hair's so long you can like fit it in your mouth. Okay, first off, that's disgusting. Second off, cut your hair. Cut your hair, man.
How's that disgusting?
Why are you so against cutting your hair?
I'm not against it, but like I've always wanted to grow it out. So this is the first chance I've ever had and being able to do it.
I don't get your hair out of your mouth. I don't think that my hair would grow like that. Like my hair is actually pretty long right now, but mine just stays up, you know?
Yeah.
Like if it was wet, like I think it would come down to, I don't know, maybe like the tip of my nose, which is pretty long.
This is the tip of your nose.
Yeah,
this
it would come
the
down
bridge of your nose. No, it wouldn't.
No, it would. If it was wet, it would. I think it would come down to the.
If you're pulling it down right now and it doesn't reach it, why do you think your hair magically grows in length when it's wet?
Listen, man. Don't test me, boy.
Shut
up. I think it would, but
I don't think it would.
I think you should cut your hair though. Are you just?
I probably will. In like a couple weeks.
Are you just like, oh, it's 2020, like everything's messed up anyway, might as well just mess up my hair?
Pretty much. Exactly. But I think I'm going to get it cut in a couple weeks. My sister's wedding is first week of November.
Are you just going to tell everybody like that?
What do you mean?
You're gonna tell everyone listening that your sister's getting married? Wow, dude, that seemed like some personal information you're just giving out.
I feel like everyone who listens already knows.
Yeah. Are you guys doing what kind of wedding is it? Like, I know, so she's getting married to an American guy.
Both types.
They're doing both.
Yeah, so I think.
So multi-day event.
Saturday is gonna be in the morning. It's gonna be Indian stuff, like around noon to 2 or 2 to something. It's gonna be like the Catholic wedding, and then in the afternoon it's gonna be Garba, and then Sunday it's the Indian wedding, and then Sunday night is the reception.
So explain to people who may not know what Garba is. Explain that.
You basically like get together and you do some like ceremonial type stuff, which is just like honestly, you pray a little bit in the beginning, and then you basically just like dance. And it's not like a
It's like a big
rager or
old
whatever.
party.
It's like Indian dancing where you like it's traditionally you just like go in a circle doing like different stuff. But there's like certain songs they play where you do stuff and whatnot.
Like I guess you would call it a line dancing almost, like the
Mm,
Cupid shuffle or the cha-cha slide.
in a way, yeah.
Like
Actually,
everyone just knows
yeah,
the dance moves or whatever.
yeah, yeah. And like everyone in the there'll be like multiple circles that are formed. So it's like a ring, and then this one could be a smaller ring, and then blows out.
How
But
many
like
people
each
are they
circle,
having?
I don't know.
Is it going to be pretty big though?
It's not going to be like Indian wedding big, but compared to like what people do for American weddings, yes.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know, maybe like 200.
That's pretty big. Well, that's
Yeah,
pretty big for here, I would say. Cuz
yeah. For
like
Indian weddings, it's like, oh, we're gonna invite 1,000 people, and no one like bats an
yeah.
eye, and I'm like, I don't want a freaking 1,000 people.
Yeah, like my
But
parents when they got married, they had like multiple thousands of people,
yeah, no, it's
which is
insane.
like nuts.
It's
Is
ridiculous. I
she
would never want that.
me neither. Cuz like my mom kind of tells me about like, her wedding day and stuff, and it sounds like a lot of it was like her parents, like people her parents just knew.
Yeah,
They may have not even necessarily been friends or whatever, just people that they knew came to the wedding. And like on the one hand, it's kind of cool because you get like, I don't know, you get presents from everybody or money.
yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like, I know my dad tells me this all the time, like their entire wedding day, basically the entire day, they after the wedding, they just stood there on stage and like just waited as all of the people, all of the guests, one by one, came and like shook their hands,
And like
congratulated
take
them.
pictures and stuff like that.
Right. So they just
Yeah,
stand there for hours waiting for all
yeah,
these people to get through. And it's like, dang,
yeah.
I only want to invite the people that I actually know. Like, could you imagine how many of those people, like, they didn't even know?
I mean, my parents want to invite people to my sister's wedding that like me and my sister have like met once,
Right.
and we don't remember their names.
Yeah. It's like those situations where you'll go home to India or whatever, or it doesn't even have to be India. This could pertain to anybody where you go and like visit, I don't know, people that knew you when you were like a baby, but
Yeah,
obviously you don't remember them. And then when you see them, they're like, oh, last time I saw you, like you were this big.
and it's just
And
like
I'm like, oh,
awkward. You're like,
okay.
oh yeah, cool,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thanks. I don't know who you
Um,
are though.
yeah, exactly.
Is she gonna wear like a traditional American style wedding dress for the Catholic part of the wedding?
I think so.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Dang man, that sounds awesome. And
yeah.
then what's the food situation like? That's what I want to know.
I think there's gonna be a mix of like barbecue type stuff and Indian food, especially the garba, and then yeah, I think it's gonna be a mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dang man, well it sounds like a good time. When is it again? First week of November?
yeah. It's like the 6th, 7th, 8th.
Dude, that's right after election day.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know
Election
anything
day's like
about.
the I know you don't. We talked about this last time. You're
Yeah,
just a bad American. Whatever. No
exactly.
biggie. But that sounds cool, man.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be the first Indian wedding you've gone to in America?
No,
What?
no. Like I've been to tons of them. When I was a little kid, all my cousins like that are older than me, they got married. I've been to like no, it's probably like the 10th or 15th or something like that. I've been to a
Oh
lot of
my
them in
gosh.
yeah, I've been to a lot of them in the states.
I don't know that I've been to any.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I have. Maybe like one, but
Hmm.
I don't even think so. Dang, dude, that's cool. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm really just jealous of the food
Dude, the
because
food's gonna be amazing.
yeah.
And
I'm
the
assuming that
reception, we're
you're
gonna get hammered.
uh, with some like nails and hammers and like building
Exactly.
things.
That's
Oh, okay, cool.
exactly.
That's
Yeah. It's
cool.
like
That's
an
cool.
arts and craft wedding.
I So are you guys getting it catered from like an Indian restaurant?
Yeah.
I would assume. Okay,
Yeah.
because yeah, obviously you wouldn't want to cook
No,
all
my
that
mom and
yourself.
all like the aunties are getting together Friday night and making food for 200 people over 3 days.
You think I'm joking when I ask that question, but my mom's done that before.
No, I'm kidding. That's
Dude,
way too
I'm so
much.
serious. Like I don't remember what the event was. Maybe like when my sister and I got our first communion or confirmation or something like that.
But you're not cooking for like 200 people at that point,
My mom invited 200 people to the
bro.
to this like ceremony. This is actually kind of funny. This is a funny story. So my mom had invited all these people, right? And like a ton of them were coming from like out of town. This might have been, I don't remember what the event was. It might have been my sister's high school graduation or something. I don't know. But she had rented out like a conference hall type thing, like just a large enough space for all the people to be able to attend.
Yeah.
Um, and she was like, okay, well, I'm going to get food. And she said, I think they did cater some stuff, but she wanted to cook most of it. And so we had all these people staying at our house, like a ton of Indian families. We had Indian families staying at like some of our friends' houses and things like that. And so um, there was this time when my uncle, he lives in New Jersey. And so he had come down for this event and they were helping my mom like make chicken, like just like I think like tandoori chicken, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, and they had cooked like 10 pounds of chicken or something ridiculous like that, right? And over the course of that night, him and one of my parents' friends, they were the two that were cooking, and they were also like, you know, drinking a little bit of whiskey, a little bit of beer, whatever it was. They were just drinking a little bit. And eventually they were like, all right, we got to try the chicken to make sure it's good. And they start eating it and they eat a little bit more. Everyone else had gone to sleep at this point, and they wake up the next morning and they didn't remember any of it. They had eaten all of the chicken.
They eat 10 pounds of chicken,
They literally ate all of it. And
bro.
my mom was so mad, but I think they just made some more the next morning. But
That's
that was
insane.
it was hilarious, man.
I don't understand how you can eat 10 pounds of chicken.
Well, you know, when you drink and stuff, you just forget. You just eat, man. You just freaking eat.
I feel so sick. I'll puke from like drinking and all that food.
Well, it soaks up the alcohol, right? Something like that. I don't know.
I feel like it's not bread.
Dude, now that you say that, so Barbara recently was taking her what's the license you need to serve alcohol at like restaurants?
ABC.
ABC, yeah. So she was taking that test for her parents' restaurant. Um, and that's actually a myth. The whole carbs soaks up alcohol. It's a myth.
Yeah, because the alcohol still stays in your like it's still there, even though like the bread soaks it up. The bread is still there. It's not like
It
the bread
no,
soaks it up and then it's gone.
that's not how it works. It like so I don't know why people tell you to eat bread, but it's a myth. It doesn't make you feel any better. What you should do is I think you're supposed to eat fats because fat
Yeah,
breaks down the alcohol more.
yeah, that's why people eat like a ton of greasy food, and greasy food makes you feel
Yeah,
better.
exactly. Greasy food makes you feel better.
Yeah,
So I don't know where people got the whole bread thing from, but that's just like not true. It's just it's
huh.
fake.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fake news.
Fake news. Speaking of fake news, did you see the biggest real fake news of this week?
No, what?
The president got corona.
You think that's fake news?
Um so this might be edging on the territory of like conspiracy theory, but yeah, I kind of don't believe it.
Why don't you
I
believe
kind
it?
of cuz I watched the debate the other night and it was just like an absolute like crap show.
Okay.
Like it was just like them yelling at each other, right? It was dumb.
Yeah.
I hated it. Um but I just feel like this is like a ploy to not have to debate again or
Is there a second
whatever.
debate?
Yeah. So
When?
this upcoming week, the vice presidential debate is on Wednesday, and then the following week, Joe Biden and Trump were supposed to debate again.
Interesting. If it gets canceled, I might be you might be onto something.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think like I don't know. That's a theory that I have, but at the same time, I'm like, you'd be out of your mind to fake Corona. That's like a
But
pretty
at the
big thing.
same time, like if you had an inner circle, as the president does, you can just say like, "Hey, we're going to keep him at this location for 2 weeks," and at the beginning of it, you could say he has COVID, and
Yeah, I
then
know. I
towards the
know.
end of it, like no one would know, and you would be like sworn into secrecy.
Right, right. I know. That's why I'm like, does he actually have it? Does he not have it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm also not in the president's inner circle, so I would never know.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find out when we're 80.
When we're 80, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man.
Something
Like,
will get leaked.
yeah. Once the what's it called? Like statute of limitations is up. Statute of limitations is
I
up.
mean, saying that you have a virus isn't really illegal, is it?
I mean, I guess not. No.
Yeah. Not telling someone, I think that is.
Is it?
Yeah, if you have like AIDS or HIV, or you don't tell someone that you're dating or whatnot, and you give them like AIDS and HIV, you can get committed for like manslaughter or something.
Wait, really?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't, dude.
You
You're
have
making
to
that up.
you have to disclose. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let's look it up. Pretty
You
sure you have to
have
disclose.
to, or like
I'm
it's
pretty
just
sure.
like morally what you should do. You're really bad at multitasking. I hate when you look things up because you type and then you just don't say words. He's still doing it. Think, man. Use your brain.
What do you mean? I'm reading.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there he is.
I'm reading. I'm like trying to find out.
What's the consensus? If you can't find it in one Google search, man, just it's whatever. We don't need to know.
Others could be afraid or angry. It's a choice whether you tell your person you're seeing that you have AIDS, but if you plan to have sex, you could get into legal trouble if you don't tell. Most states have laws that require people who are HIV positive to reveal their status to their sexual partner. So,
Interesting.
boom.
Education fact. I gotta cut that entire thing out now.
What do you mean? That's funny.
No.
You better not cut that out.
I'm gonna cut that out.
Like, cut this out. You gonna cut the whole thing out, or just me saying you got to tell Barb?
Maybe just that part, probably.
You're an asshole.
Um.
Your mom isn't gonna care that you have AIDS, bro.
Okay. So I don't even know how to start back from that.
What are you eating?
I made some Indian style pickled mangoes the other day.
What the fuck is a pickled mango?
You've never had a pickled mango?
No, that's why I'm asking what a pickled mango is.
Wait, really?
Yes, tell me.
It's just you just pickle a mango.
How do you pickle something?
You just put salt on it. I mean, I'm sure there's like more to it than just salt, but like in my case,
So I
just
could
put
have
salt.
pickled spaghetti.
I mean, maybe try it. I think
If the only criteria is you have to put salt on it, that's not right. That can't be right.
and then it
refuse to
has to
believe that.
ferment, and then it has to ferment.
How did
So like
what is the ferment process?
you just like can it and like put it in not heat, but like I left mine out like in the sun or like by a window for a couple days. That seemed to work pretty well.
How much salt do you put in?
Honestly, probably too much salt because it's like way too salty. I put in like for an entire mango, maybe like half a cup or something, which was way too much. Should have cut that.
You're actually eating it?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. It just like typically when you get like an Indian pickled mango, it has like a bunch of spices and stuff in it, like so it's also spicy at the same time. But this is just salt. But also when people here make like pickles, for instance, like I'm assuming you understand that a pickle is just a cucumber that has been pickled. So they put salt obviously, but they'll also do like sometimes they might substitute it for like vinegar or like they'll put other things like garlic or pepper or whatever in it, give it a little bit of flavor. But
pickled mango, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I'm making stuff up.
Man. I thought that was just a thing.
So like, could I pickle asparagus?
Yeah, I saw pickled asparagus at the store the other day.
Get out of here.
I'm being serious. Barb and I went to like some like gardening type store, but on the inside it was like I don't know how to describe it, like a country store type thing. Like imagine like the inside of like a Cracker Barrel, and they had pickled asparagus. They also have like pickled onions. People pickle hard boiled eggs. Yeah, I've never tried that. That sounds kind of gross, but they
You
do
should
it.
make a video on it.
Ew, I don't want to eat just a bunch.
You should have a pickled video.
What pickle is the best pickle? That sounds gross. I don't want to eat a pickled egg. There was something else the other day that I tried that was pickled that was weird. Okra.
I've heard of
It
that.
was it was weird, but I actually enjoyed it.
Do you like okra?
I like okra typically. Yeah, I like fried okra or
Fried
the
okra is the stuff.
yeah, I think okra is kind of hard to do things with cuz it's so slimy, you know?
Yeah.
But like I like fried okra. The pickled okra was pretty good. Um I don't cook with it often though cuz like I said it's slimy. But what were we talking about before? We were talking about corona.
Where are
Um
we?
yeah,
Oh, the fake news thing.
the fake news thing. Yeah. So anyway, I just think that it's possible that it could be a conspiracy type thing. I don't know.
I wouldn't like completely dismiss the fact that it could be. I feel like
It's
there's
just
potential.
it just seems so convenient, you know.
But there also was like a bunch, like I saw something where it said like a bunch of people coming out of that area got
There was
COVID.
like there was like an event or something they had, right? Like
Yeah.
they had some sort of I don't even know what it was, maybe like a donor event or something. But
Yeah, but a lot of people who went to it had COVID, and this was part of that event or whatever. So
right.
I don't
So
know.
somebody messed up, man. But
Inclined to.
how's your COVID life been going? Are you starting to get sick of it yet?
Honestly, I'm just like working, so like I wouldn't have really traveled
I
that
swear
much
you
anyway.
don't do what do you do other than work? You go home, you go to work. You go to work and you go home. What else do you do?
I play Dota sometimes. I don't know. I like.
That's
What do you do during the week though? Like honestly, like you go to work, you come home, you do some stuff at the house, whether it's like cooking or like chilling out, doing laundry, shit that you need to do at the house. Then you
yeah,
go to
but
bed.
you don't even have a weekend because every weekend you're working, aka today you worked. I
Yeah,
bet you worked yesterday too.
I did.
Yeah. So you literally don't do anything.
Yeah.
Because then, like on Saturdays, you basically like go into work and then you just work for how many ever hours. Then you come home, you're tired, so you just want to like chill.
It's
You know what I
essentially
did
what I did.
yesterday?
What?
I was yesterday Saturday.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember what I did yesterday. I think I might have had a midterm. Um, but
So
on
you didn't do anything either.
Friday night we went out with Barb's older sister and some of her friends.
So like, I
We
mean, if I had, if my sister was close by, I'd go out to like see my sister on like Saturday if I
yeah
got home from work afterwards,
yeah
and go hang out with them.
we like so North Carolina just did like their phase 3 of COVID or whatever. So some more places were able to open up for outdoor seating. I don't think many places are doing indoor seating yet. There's still like a lot of rules on indoor seating, but outdoors a little more, I guess, readily available. Um, and so we went to this like pub, this like Irish pub that had a lot of outdoor seating. Got some drinks, got some food, just like bar
So
type
one
food.
sec, you have enough money to go buy an overpriced drink, but you don't have money to buy Among Us on Steam so we can play video games together. I will
What?
not record another podcast
No,
episode if you don't buy that game.
listen.
It's $5.
And I think the people would
Someone
agree with
Venmo
me.
this man $5.
I think the people would agree with me here. Why would I purchase a game that's $5 on the computer when I can when I can download and play the same game for free on my iPhone?
Rebuttal. Why would you pay $5 for a beer you can get for $1 at the grocery store?
I didn't get a beer. I got a vodka infused slushy.
Make it at home cheaper.
You're probably right
Why do you do it?
because I was out with friends.
Exactly. You were out with friends. Why do I want you to buy this $5 game? Because then you could get on Discord and we can talk like normal people and actually play the game to the full extent it should be played at.
What's wrong?
But I want to hang out with friends.
You don't even know what the iPhone version is like. You don't
You
even know
told
that it's
me you
worse.
can't talk, you type, which is dumb.
Yeah, but wait. So I don't understand. In the real version of this game, like in the computer version, you don't just like type text out to people?
You can, but like ideally you would get on with like friends and you would create like a Discord chat or something like that, and then you would play on there.
Hmm. Well, I'm still not going to buy the game.
I'm done. I'm not recording another podcast.
All right,
What
guys. Well,
episode is this? What episode is this?
This was episode 8. We had a
Yep,
good
that's the
8
last
episode
one.
run.
Yep, that's it.
And Neesh is refusing to. Someone buy this game and play with Neesh.
I want
Tell
9
him-
people.
9.
I want a total of 10 people to play this game with me.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't even know 10 people, man.
Yeah, you do. All those recruiters that you met for finance,
Yeah,
for financial
dude.
banking.
It's been getting rough, man.
Why? What's it like?
I just like it's so many like little 30-minute chats with people, and
What do you talk about?
just banking. Like I have like a list of like 6 or 7 just generic questions.
What are they?
Like why did you choose like a small bank versus like a big bank? How did you navigate the recruiting process? What was your summer internship like because of COVID? Was it virtual? Was it in person? You also have to have like your resume walk perfected. So, like your 2-minute elevator pitch or whatever. And I gave it to one of the upperclassmen the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, it's too long." Mine was like right at 2 minutes, and he was like, "Needs to be a minute and a half, or they're gonna doze off, and they're not gonna listen to anything you said."
Lol.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And so a lot of it is just like scheduling meetings with those people, just like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Right now, we're just like quote unquote practicing with the second years. But I think I told you this already. There's like a list of 30 people they gave us, and they said we have to finish all of them by the end of October. So,
Are there 30 people, like second year people?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they gave it to us like last week, so 5 weeks, which is like 6 people a week, which isn't bad. I've gotten through a lot of them. I've got 7 scheduled for next week. But then once you get to like the real bankers, like I was asking, like how many bankers did you guys talk to last year when you were recruiting? And every single one of them has said like 80 to 100.
That's insane.
It's nuts, man. So
how many of the
like,
people that are second years got internships with big banks?
with big banks, so there's a list of 30, but that's not all of them. There's probably a total of 40 people that got jobs. 40 people that got internships, 2 didn't get like returning offers. So 38, and most of them went to big banks. So like the big ones are like Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Barclays.
Yeah.
Most of them went to, I'd say half of them went to big banks, and then the other half went to smaller ones. But some people, it's just like personal preference,
Yeah.
like they just want like a smaller atmosphere. But it's so scary because like you'll talk to these second years and they'll be like, yeah, like, even though my internship was just virtual the entire summer, like I was still working until probably 1 or 2 a.m. 6 nights a week. And I was like, what time did you start in the morning? They'd be like, probably around 9. And I was like, oh my God, why?
What do you do during these internships?
It sounds like, so for banking, there's like 4 levels typically. Analyst is like right out of undergrad, associate is 3 years later or right out of MBA. Then VP is 3 or 4 years after that. Then some people like plateau at VP, or if you're like really good, you could go to managing director, which is like just under the C-suite.
What is C-suite?
That's like your CEO, CFO,
Oh,
the C people. And so like whenever they talk about that, like your associates, which would be me, they typically manage like a certain number of analysts. And it's not really like a boss employee type relationship as far as I understand. It's like much more collaborative than that. But for all intents and purposes, like you're their, I guess mentor would be a better word. You're like mentoring like three or four of them. And so one thing that makes me nervous is like, okay, well, I don't have any experience in banking. How am I going to come in and mentor four kids? You know,
Yeah.
that's like a weird concept. Um, but essentially, you're like working together on deals. So for like mergers and acquisitions or something, say Apple wants to buy a company, they'll probably come to like Goldman Sachs and be like, "Hey, handle the finances for us." So you basically have to do all the research on the small company, on the company that's being acquired, and how it's going to affect Apple's stock price, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and then eventually tell Apple like this is the price that you need to pay for this company, or vice versa. Um, and then yeah, and then they'll offer a bid, the other company accepts or whatever, and then the bank gets a percentage of that fee. So it's usually like 1% of whatever the transaction occurs for, which 1% is like sounds really small,
But
but
when
like
it's usually like half a million, like $500 million deals and stuff like that.
yeah, like last year the biggest deal that Goldman Sachs worked on was like $16 billion. So 1% of that is, 160 mil for one deal.
Yeah,
And they're probably getting like, six or seven in a year. So making quite a bit of money.
that's insane.
Yeah. And that's also why the bankers get paid. So, well, okay, it's twofold. The bankers get paid a lot because one, they're working a lot of hours, and two, because because the way the structure of the deals work, like they bring in a lot of money.
Yeah. How
So,
much does an associate make?
so the way that I understand it, it's twofold. You have your base salary and a bonus like you would at your job, right? Starting off as like an analyst coming out of undergrad, you're probably going to be working like 80 to 100 hours a week, and the starting salary in like New York is around 85,000. Um and then your year-end bonus is typically like 50 to 70%. So that's where they make a lot of their money, is their year-end bonus.
Yeah.
And then you can imagine like from there the salary just goes up. So from what I've read, this is completely unconfirmed. Wait another year and a half and I can give you actual numbers. But the what you can read on the internet says that like an associate straight out of their MBA can probably expect to make like 140 starting salary, and then your year end bonus is somewhere in the 70 to 100% range,
Damn.
which is nuts because at Eastman my year end bonus was 3%.
That's
And so
exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, what? 3 to 100%? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
How
yeah.
many? But you're still working like 80 hours a week as even
Right.
as an associate.
That's the thing. Yeah, you're working 80 hours a week. So like a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, that's so much money and you don't do anything," but it's almost like having two full-time jobs, so you're getting paid for two full-time jobs, you know.
Yeah, I
You
guess
could
that's
think of
true.
it that way.
Yeah. So you're telling me I work too much right now, and I don't even work anywhere near 80 to 100 hours. So
Yeah, I
how
know.
are you going to handle that whenever you start working 80 to 100 hours when you see me work like 60 and you're like, man,
We'll
that's
see,
too
man.
much.
We'll see, man. Here's I don't know. I don't know. I can't say too much because there might be bankers listening in, and maybe they'll take away my opportunities. But more broadly speaking, I want to get to a place where I'm like comfortable and can either retire early and like pursue entrepreneurship, or yeah, or that's it. I don't know. I think my thing is like I just want to position myself well to either have like a really good career where within banking where I can have like a much better work life balance, aka just move up in the ranks, or if I decide like, oh, this is way too much for me, then pivot away from that, but have like a lot of money saved up in the bank to where I'm not like worried about a salary, and then be able to try to start my own thing. So then if I've got a bunch of money saved up, then I'll feel comfortable saying, okay, I'm going to take the next 2 years and like try something to open up a business for myself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it fails because I've got money to fall back on, you know?
And then like you'll have finance experience to where you'll be able to like like make a decision, educated decision on the
Right.
business you're trying to create.
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool to open up like a restaurant type business. But I don't know. I know restaurants are like kind of difficult.
Yeah.
I think just opening a business in general is difficult. But like we've got so many ideas. Like you've been to Japan. You know how in Japan they have those like it's called like a izakaya where it's like tapas almost where they just bring you like small plates of stuff, and you know how they've got like the button on the side of your table that you push to make the waiter come to you, and you can like just keep ordering and ordering and ordering.
Yeah.
I think that concept is so cool, and I think there should be restaurants like that in America, but there's not. So
Yeah. Because like the
so
culture.
yeah, but I think places like New York or like just big cities in general where people are much more open to like trying new, I guess like food trends like that. I think people would do it.
Yeah.
Or like did you ever when you were in Japan do the thing where you like pay for 2 hours and it's like unlimited drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people here would love that.
Yeah.
You'd have to figure out what the pricing would be so like you're still profitable, but um I
It's
think
also
people would love
like,
that.
well, you pay like a flat fee and it's like unlimited eating and drinking for 2 hours.
Right.
And
Well, I
the
don't know if
dining
ours
menu,
was
well, the
food.
dining menu is restricted. So
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
you don't have everything on the dining menu. You have like these 10 items or something like that
Yeah.
that you can order, but you can order unlimited of. So you might not be getting like the cream of the crop, but you're also not getting like the worst stuff either.
Yeah.
You're getting like the mid
And
tier stuff.
and the cool
It still
thing
tastes pretty good.
for the people listening, the cool thing is like it's not just alcoholic beverages either. You can get any drink. You can get like soda, you can get tea, you can get coffee.
Um,
It's literally just anything that you could drink, you can get. And it's for like one flat fee.
and it's not
Um
even that expensive.
it wasn't. Ours was like $20 a person maybe,
Yeah,
which is
and
like
it's
if
it's
you
way better than like a Chinese buffet.
right.
So there's no there you can't even compare it to like a Chinese
You
buffet that you pay
you
like 10
still
$10 for.
yeah, and you still have like a server coming
Yeah.
and serving you.
Yeah,
So
and it's like
it's I mean
fresh
it's really
hot, like
cool.
it's made to order.
It's really cool, and like I'm saying, I think like people in America would think that that was really cool. So I'd love to start a restaurant like that.
Yeah,
Barb and I have talked about that. We were actually talking about it yesterday because we went
yeah,
and got ramen.
that'd be cool. Since I'm part of this, every single time I come eat, it'd be free, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll give you
yeah,
free food.
hell yeah. I'm literally gonna come there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
What are your eventual life plans and goals? I know
bro.
you don't want to work at Nissan for the rest of your life.
I don't know if I do or don't.
I know you don't want to be an engineer for the rest of your life.
That's true. Um, I don't know, bro. What I want to do, honestly, I don't even know like what step to take because I don't know what to do. Like you're interested in finance, and I feel like I'm all like I like business stuff way better than like engineering stuff, but I don't even know like what I would want to do in business.
Yeah.
Buy a liquor store.
Buy a liquor store?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like stereotypical.
Don't you have like uncles and stuff that do that? Stereotypical Indian?
Yeah,
Do Indians own liquor stores? Is that a thing?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Interesting.
No, I don't know what I want to do, dude. Maybe in like 2 years I'll get my MBA in finance or something like that.
And then you can come be a banker with me.
So like if you get your MBA in finance, is that strictly like you're going into banking
For me personally, or just more in general?
in
In
general?
general, no. A lot of people. So like, yeah, my concentration is in finance, but like I haven't even picked that officially yet. A lot of people will either go into what they call corporate finance, which would be like, imagine working at Apple doing like their finances, you know, or people will go into consulting, where you'd work for like Deloitte or like McKinsey and Company or whatever, and consult other companies on their
So
stuff.
why do you want to do banking?
I don't know. I think the mergers and acquisitions space specifically is really interesting. Like just like plus you just get so much more experience with like so many companies as opposed to just being with one company forever. And they say like within mergers and acquisitions, I think this is more true of smaller banks, but you get like face to face like time with like actual CEOs and CFOs and stuff like that, where you're like directly talking to the heads of the of those companies. And so I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I thought about consulting for a little bit as well, but I think consulting's like a lot of travel. I'm sure you have to travel for banking as well, but it sounds like consulting's like a lot of travel.
Yeah. So how do you make that choice? Like obviously you're in your first semester, but
Yeah.
like you're learning the same stuff that someone who's going into consulting is learning, correct?
Yeah.
So is it strictly based on like where you decide to go get internships?
Um, yeah, part of it. So that was one of the questions I was asking too. Like, it seems like at least at UNC, our first semester here, basically all of our classes are picked for us. So all of the first years are taking the exact same 5 classes right now. Um, and then we get one elective next semester, or the next 9 weeks or whatever. But still, we're all taking the same classes. And so then, like banking, for instance, our recruiting process ends by like the first week of January. Whereas a lot of the other career choices, like consulting or like corporate finance or real estate or whatever, they like start their recruiting season then. So if banking doesn't work out, you can still recruit for other jobs. But yeah, I think mainly it is just where you decide to go for your internship. Because say I intern at a bank, if I don't get a return offer or something, people will be like, oh, well, you have experience in banking, you have experience in finance. I'll still let you interview for this corporate finance job. Um, so I think banking specifically leaves like a lot of options open, whereas it might be a lot more difficult to go from like consulting to banking or corporate finance to banking, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, makes sense.
But yeah, man. Hey, if you want to get your MBA someday and I don't know, do something different, do it. You
Yeah,
can
but I don't
come.
want to pay for mine. You're paying for yours.
Where would you go if Nissan paid for it? Vanderbilt?
If I got in,
Do you think you would?
no.
Why? Why don't you think you would get in?
Because I'm stupid.
You're not stupid. You're just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Barely stupid.
Barely stupid. Yeah. No, I feel like, well, I haven't studied at all,
Yeah.
and I feel like the math section I'd probably do all right, but like I would get absolutely destroyed.
The vocab's hard. The
Yeah.
vocab's really hard.
So,
And I don't really have any good advice for it.
yeah. I don't know.
I
Maybe I'll
think
start studying now.
do it. Then
Maybe
2
that's what
years
I
from now,
do
you
in
can
my
get
free
in.
time.
Instead of going out and having a life.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. I guess that about wraps us up for today.
All right. That was interesting. More for me
Hey.
than probably the people listening, but
Hey, well, if you're interested in banking, check out my YouTube channel. I got some banking videos on there. I got some food related videos on there. We
also
got
I
this
have his number,
podcast on
so
there.
I'll put his cell phone number down in the description below in a comment, and you guys can call him anytime you want if you want some banking advice.
Please don't call me.
Yeah.
Please, I'm begging you. But anyway, thanks for sitting here with us for about the last 45 minutes or so. We were Your Barely Indian Boys, episode 8.
Won't
Listen
be a
to this
9.
wherever listen to this wherever you get podcasts or on youtube.com/Jerome Vaz. And we will catch you guys next week. Bye.